After the Walton family, the Mars family is the richest family in the world. The family owns Mars Incorporated, which is known for manufacturing its Mars bar and M&Ms. The company has around $40 billion in revenue and employs over 130,000 employees. The company was founded by Frank Mars, who started Mars Candy Factory in 1911. Though Frank Mars started the company, the real force behind the company's enormous success was his son, Forrest Mars Sr. In 1923, Forrest Mars introduced the Milky Way bar, which became the best-selling candy bar across the US in 1930. He then introduced the Snickers bar, which even today is considered the best chocolate for many. In 1932, Forrest introduced the Mars bar, which not only brought good sales, but made its name known around the world. In 1941, he copied the British-made Smarties and created M&Ms, which is considered the favorite candy among many. Want to know the journey and life story of Forrest Mars Sr. and how he created these best-selling candies? Watch the full video. We at Business Chronicles tell the stories of extraordinary successful people. Please subscribe to our channel to help us in making more videos. On March 21, 1904, Forrest Edward Mars Sr. was born to Frank C. Mars and his first wife, Ethel G. Mars. Although he was born in Walton, Minnesota, he was raised in Canada by his grandparents after his parents' divorce. Details of his early education are pretty hazy, but after high school, he went to the University of California, Berkeley. He later switched to Yale University, where he earned an industrial engineering degree in 1928. His parents' divorce meant that young Mars didn't get to spend quality time with his father or mother, because, while he grew up in Canada, his father lived in America and was committed to strengthening their US-based businesses. As an adult, Forrest Mars eventually joined his father's company, Mars Incorporated. He was known to be highly innovative, and although he can be extreme sometimes, he sped up things within the company. When Mars pushed for international expansion and his father opposed it, tensions grew between the two. It shouldn't be surprising that two men of different generations didn't agree on the same strategies. So, Mars accepted a buyout with a transnational production permit and relocated to England, where he came up with the idea for the Mars bar and Maltesers in 1933. In 1934, he acquired Chapel Bros, a British company specializing in canned meat for dogs. Mars launched and marketed Chappie's canned food, and with little to no competition, he quickly became the dominant player in this industry. During his time in Europe, Mars also worked with Nestle and Tobler. Many of the brands he developed and launched to the UK market were eventually made available in the US. The Milky Way, for example, is known as the Three Musketeers in the United Kingdom. Similarly, the Snickers bar was marketed as Marathon in Ireland and the United Kingdom until 1990. As the Second World War continued to ravage Europe, Mars handed managerial responsibilities to a trusted fellow while he concluded plans to return to the US. Forrest Mars is considered the pioneer of the European pet food market. As of 1991, Mars owned a little above 60% of the volume and value of the market. According to a Fortune contributor, Bill Saporito, Forrest Mars started a pet food industry long before people in those countries would even consider feeding Fifi out of a can. Subsequently, his Mars Candy Company acquired Cal-Can, another frontline pet food company. In 1988, Mars rebranded Cal-Can dog food as Pedigree and Cal-Can cat food as Whiskas. In the 1980s, cats were more often kept as pets than dogs, and since British Whiskas sold 3 times as much as its competitors, Mars saw a chance for Cal-Can in the US cat food market. Before then, Cal-Can already held a dominant position in the American cat food market. However, the brand was more commonly associated with dog food. Mars ensured that Whiskas in the United States and the United Kingdom followed the same recipe, but both products were made with regionally appropriate ingredients. By 1994, having amassed $4 billion in sales, Mars was the world's largest pet food manufacturer. Uncle Ben's, now Ben's Original, is an American brand of parboiled rice and other food products introduced by Converted Rice Incorporated. Just after its initial release in 1943, Uncle Ben's rice went on to become the best-selling brand of rice in America until the 1990s. However, Forrest Mars isn't necessarily the original developer of this rice brand. While in the United Kingdom, Mars discovered Eric Husenlaub's work with rice. Husenlaub ran a business called Rice Conversion Limited out of London. After some time, they teamed up in Houston, Texas to form Mars and Husenlaub, which ultimately led to Forrest Mars acquiring a stake in the Husenlaub process rice conversion patent. In 1942, with Mars's assistance and financial backing, Husenlaub partnered with a Houston food broker, Gordon L. Harwell, to establish Converted Rice Incorporated, selling all of their product to the United States and British military forces. Theirs became a preferred product because it could be airdropped to troops without fear of weevil infestation, and it cooked faster than regular rice products. More so, the converted rice product retains a greater proportion of its nutrient after cooking. In 1994, with additional funding from the Defense Plant Corporation and an investment from Forrest Mars, the company constructed a second major plant. In 1959, Forrest Mars acquired Eric Husenlaub's share of the business and integrated it into his own company, Food Manufacturers Incorporated. In 1940, Mars, in collaboration with Bruce Murray, created M&Ms, a chocolate candy coated in a crispy shell and best known for the catchphrase, "Melt in your mouth, not in your hands." Perhaps they were inspired by Smarties. In the 1930s, when the Spanish Civil War raged, Forrest Mars watched soldiers enjoying British-made Smarties, chocolate pellets wrapped in a colored shell of solidified sugar syrup. This pickled his interest, and he set out to develop a similar, better product. On March 3, 1941, Mars was granted a patent for his unique procedure. Despite Mars's lifelong allergy to peanuts, peanut M&Ms was also introduced in 1954. He definitely knew how to place business and customer satisfaction over personal strings. Over time, Bruce Murray withdrew from the company, and Mars also bought off his 20% interest in 1949. After his father died in 1964, Forrest Mars merged the family business, Mars Incorporated, with his own company, having assumed ownership of the family business. It's estimated that by the early 1970s, his confectionery company was worth some $200 million in the United States and another $55 million in Britain. Mars produced 5 of the top 10 best-selling candy bars in the US, including the #1 spot holder, Snickers. M&Ms were first exported in the 1980s, making their way to countries like Australia, Canada, Europe, Hong Kong, Japan, Malaysia, and the United Kingdom. Having set an excellent precedence, M&Ms have become available in over 100 different nations since 2003. In 1973, Mars handed over the leadership of Mars Incorporated to his children and retired. In 1980, after he had retired and moved to Henderson, Nevada, he established Ethel M Chocolates, naming the company after his mother. In 1988, Mars Incorporated acquired Ethel M. He co-founded Ethel M with Alan Thomas, who served as the company's general manager, and Dean Musser, who took on the chief financial officer role. One can surmise that he established the company in an effort to alleviate the boredom he felt in retirement, and that he wanted to honor his mother by making use of the chocolate recipes she had developed. Mars set up the business in Nevada because it was one of the few states where liqueur-filled cordials could be legally sold. In 1984, Mars was honored with a spot in the Junior Achievement U.S. Business Hall of Fame. He came in at number 30 on Forbes' list of the wealthiest Americans. Mars passed away in Miami, Florida on July 1, 1999, at the ripe old age of 95, having amassed a fortune of $4 billion. Even after his death, his quintessential business ethics continue to shine through Mars Incorporated. Forrest Mars was the only son of Frank Mars. His father gave him a perfect environment and ecosystem. He was not only a good businessman, but he also had good ideas. The ideas which not everyone possesses. He made Milky Way bar, which got a fortune for the company, and created the starting point to make it a billion-dollar company. For any normal person, the success that Milky Way bar gave to Mars was enough. But for Forrest Mars, nothing stopped him, and he made much better inventions like Snickers, Mars, and M&Ms, which made his company the world's largest candy company. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel to watch more videos like this.